Hi, my name is Volodymyr and I am a CEO of a software development company named NERDZ LAB. We specialize in a startup building and a growing new and young businesses. Based on the responsibilities, this guy needs to pick the ground of your startup. After picking it, he needs to lead it into the right direction and be very flexible for changes that may happen with the startup, because the startup is a very flexible product that requires a lot of adaptation. So if the person has not enough technical skills, it will end up that he will be picking the wrong approaches and wrong technologies. And as this is a ground, like the core of your product, this is very bad, as it will slowly kill your project till the end. So starting with, you're a technical startup. And as a technical startup, the technical officer is a second important person after a CEO inside the whole organization. Because of that, even investors, when they try to interview you, they're asking the questions about the CTO. Who is he? Why he is motivated to contribute to your project? What's the background? Where he is located? And so on. Because without the right person, you won't be able to establish the second part of a business in a technical startup, the tech part. And with the wrong person, it will be very easy to make the startup go down very fast. That's why it's highly important to pick the right one, the one that can lead you into the right direction, support you from a technical standpoint, so you're no time needed to check what's going on with the technical side. You're a problem solver. You don't need to waste your time on the technical aspects. It's very important for this person to have a strong management skills, because he'll constantly be working with other developers. He will be leading them, he will be showing them examples, how to behave, how to pick the right decision, and so on. The person with low management skills, low communicative skills, will end up in the destruction element of a team from the core. And you cannot build a product without the guys who is building that. And it will be a constant problem. Lastly, this person should be a business-wise. Except picking the right technologies, except managing the team, this person needs to always align the goals of a business within the technologies and the development part. For example, the guys can select very advanced technology, which is on a hype right now in the development world, but in reality it's not even closely needed for the project. It will extend the time of a development, will add unnecessary complexity, will higher the level of incoming developer, meaning that junior or mid developers won't be able to work on the project efficiently because it's too hard. And in this case, yes, he picked the right technology in terms of its completeness, its ability to do the task, but it did not align with the business needs. Sometimes it will be required to sacrifice the technology, the good development in terms of speed, in terms of fast-made solution, in terms of something that business requires right away. And that's why this person needs to always be a business-wise, understand where they can economy, where they cannot, what is really needed from a business perspective, and so on. There are a few usual things that we see the most inside our project that our customers are picking as a decision to their CTO. The first one that we see kind of frequently for the early stage startups, they're selecting the developer from their team who has the most experience or who they can rely the most, and telling that, here we go, this is your new badge, you're a CTO, because each startup needs to have a CTO. Another very popular thing, but mostly in a big companies that we see a lot, the ones that raised several rounds of investments, it's finding the CTO with a proven track record of a previous successful startup. Another one, it's more rare but happens from time to time. It's I have a friend of mine who is working as a developer in some big company, Facebook, Google or other, and he will be helping us doing the role of a CTO, managing the technical aspects of the project and guiding us what we'll need to do. And the last one, it's very popular right now through the past few years. It's named CTO as a service, and it's when you're hiring a CTO within your outsourcing company for a limited amount of time. So we will dig closer to it later through our video, what the benefits and what the issues with that approach. So the problem with CTO is my friend who is working within the big companies. Firstly, as I mentioned, yes, he can have a good technical skill, maybe he can have a management skill if he obtains some management role in this big company, but I really doubt, and through my experience I see a lot of the times that they have a good business skills, because they would never be working with the business sides inside the company. Additionally, they have the primary work. Their work in a big company that they are contributing to. Your startup is a secondary project for them. Usually it happens that they spend very few time, they don't have enough resources to get proper decisions, to do a proper due diligence of some technology, etc. And then it ends up in the things that they offboard from the project through several months. Just because they are not interested, it's not the thing they are passionate about, they don't have time, willing, etc. Another approach is to pick a key developer from your team and tell that he is a CTO. So again, the situation is nearly the same. He can easily pick the proper technological solution, because again, probably you selected a good technical developer, but such a guys, they never managed or managed very little. They don't know how to rule a team, how to guide them in the right direction, and mostly they don't know as well the business side. Most frequently we see the issues that they are selecting the technologies that's currently on a hype. They're selecting the new SDKs, they select some new products, and they're building a rocket instead of a bicycle. But again, we are a startup. We need to build something very simple that fits the market and solves a real problem, instead of building a very extended version that can't be done in a reasonable amount of time. Therefore, it ends up that either this technology is not time-proofed, or they're trying to build everything ideally without understanding that we need to adapt, we need to sacrifice some perfectness to be fast, to roll out fast, to make changes fast, and so on. And unfortunately, this project, instead of taking X amount of time, can take 2-3x amount of time. There is a constant problem with the management, and again, you're having a key performer inside your team that you're paying salary to develop, but currently you're extracting him, and instead of the things that he does really good, meaning development, he starts managing and doing the business side, which he does really bad. So it's illogical that you are paying the guy for the work that he does bad instead of paying him for the work that he does really good. That's why it's better for such a guys to keep them engaged in a project in a development phase, but have someone else to manage and lead the technical aspects of your startup. So we have two more things that's widely used. Both of them, as to me, is fairly good, but has a different approaches, different pros and cons inside of it. Let's talk firstly about hiring external CTO who has a proven track record for a full-time job inside your startup. So the good question here is, such a guys, it's very rare occasion. Such a guys without a work or was willing to change the work is more rare occasion. So you need to set a question, why this guy need to get into my startup? Either he is very driven by an idea, or he has a very good salary bonuses, or you're giving him a lot of stocks inside your business that he is willing to get and grow the business slowly to extend these stocks into a lot of money. So all in all, it stands in terms of his motivation that he will be joining your team. And because of that, most probably, you need to prove that your startup is sustainable business that will grow. So it means that you will need to be on some stage of investment, so you can firstly pay him a salary. The salary is really high. Secondly, that you will be proved by a market that this market needs this problem solver. And lastly, you will still need to give him a chunk of your business, because this person needs to be motivated to grow your business. This person sometimes needs to work at night or react in crisis situations. So we're getting to the idea that if you're an early stage startup, you won't be able to get this person, otherwise you will be able to get someone that's much worse. And it makes no sense to do so, because again, if we get back to the 3 points that this person needs to close and close it efficiently, it can bring a bunch of the issues. If you're an early stage startup, there is a good solution, which is a CTO as a service. It means that you can hire a CTO within an outsourcing company for a limited amount of time. You won't need to pay 8 hours working day for this person, because most probably there won't be an 8 hours required for a CTO to pick a solution, manage, solve the technical problems and so on. Secondly, if you're picking the CTO from offshore companies, it will lower the rate really high. So you won't need to pay a rate of $100+ an hour. You will be paying much less, depending from the location you're getting this CTO from. Lastly, these companies, they usually have few guys who is already leading or was leading the startups before, and as a result they have very wide experience in their portfolio with the different technologies, knowing what this technology does, what the pros and cons, how they used it before, can it be used here, and so on. So it's really efficient for him to work within your startup and share the knowledge that he granted before. So you're not getting someone who does it first time. You're granting the guy who is already time-proofed and work-proofed before. The issues with this approach, of course, is that it's not full-time dedicated CTO, and at the stage that you will start growing, you will start getting first investments, you will need to bring someone on board as the previous option, who will be fully working within your project, fully dedicated to your project, and so on. But most probably for most of the startups, it won't happen in a year, maybe in 2 years. But till the time, you need someone who will be leading and setting the right direction, setting the right ground for your business. That's why I would recommend to go with these 2 options and skip the first 2 with your friend or with a key performer inside your team, because it won't lead into a right direction. It will only create an issues later on. Finalizing everything, keep in mind that selecting the CTO is probably one of the most important things for your startup. Be patient, be wise, and try to spend enough time picking the right person. We had a lot of stories inside our company when our customers previously picked the wrong decision and as a result paid a huge price within their startup. You are flexible to select whatever you want, and use my advice if it helps you. Thanks for watching. We'll be filming more videos about startups, about their history, what tools you can use, how to evolve that, the possible mistakes, and anything that may be interested for our audience. Feel free to write a comment what you're really interested, so we can pick the topics that bother you the most and elaborate on that. Thank you, and see you next time.